And I'm here with Tyler, owner of Next Level Hi-Fi, one of the premier stores in the Chicago area, or the entire state of Illinois, I would say, because there's no other store like his. Okay, if you want to see his store, check out my store tour on my videos. You'll be impressed with what you're going to see. But today we're going to talk about this brand new loudspeaker from Borresen, the world debut of the T3. This is the SSE version.
Yeah, that's right. So never been shown before. You've heard some T-Series before at some of the other shows. We've had the big T5s, and we had the T1 in Florida in one of the smaller rooms. But this is the T3, and so particularly exciting speaker because of the size. So you get a reference level product, but kind of in a normal size for most rooms. So $110,000. And available in piano black or gloss walnut. And this pair actually only has a couple hundred or let me rephrase that. This pair actually probably only has 2 days of playtime on it.
Oh, wow.
So they're still breaking in, and they sound already incredible.
They do.
Yeah, we flew them over for the show. So.
And so you have, within the T lineup, you have the T1.
Yep.
Which is right there in the corner.
That's right.
All right. And then we have the T3, which is the latest and greatest from the lineup, and the T5, which is all the way to the back, okay? If you want to see all of these speakers play, they're going to play and they're going to rotate systems. Be sure to check out.
It's called the BATIK room.
BATIK room.
Yeah, so it's on the second floor, the Mez of the Southwest Audio Fest.
Now, you're not going to find this speaker anywhere else in the country, so if you want to hear it, this is the only shot that you have right now.
Correction.
Okay.
We just got our shipment.
Oh, okay. So, there you go. So thank you for that clarification.
Yeah. So or come to our store and we'd be happy to show you all three models on permanent display.
Now, I know this is the replacement of the O series, correct? So the T series takes over what was a very successful lineup, okay, for Borresen. When I first heard their speakers, I fell in love with the O1 Silver Supreme Edition. Those were the star of the show. In the beginning stages, I think that was the speaker that, in my opinion, put Borresen on the map.
No doubt about it.
Personally.
Yeah, the O1s, whether it's even the Cryo Silvers, just the O1 in general.
Incredible.
It was big sound out of a small speaker.
I think that when I started this journey, I never thought it was possible to hear such a massive soundstage, great depth, resolution, musicality, all in one box, probably this size. Okay, that was never done by anyone else that I know of anyway. And so Borresen in general continues to push the boundaries when it comes to loudspeaker design. I was actually listening to the speaker for quite some time, and the biggest impression that I have is, number one, the musicality. It's not analytical at all. Has a tremendous soundstage. I don't know how this is done. This room, look at this size, guys. Look, it's just massive. Okay, they're probably what, 20 feet apart.
They're wide. Yeah, they're wide,
and
no doubt.
They have absolutely no trouble, no problem filling the space. So not only are they relatively small, I will call them, but they play like big speakers.
Let's highlight some of the technical innovations on the speaker. So you've got new drive units. So you guys are familiar with the M series because we've shown you the M series quite a few times. These are the new T series drivers.
Oh, wow.
And they have, like the M series, that crazy titanium basket that's 3D printed, except on the T series, instead of using zirconium, they're using titanium to reduce the cost a little bit.
Right, of course.
So maybe now instead of $3,000 for a driver basket, maybe it's $2,500. I'm just making up the numbers, but it's a little bit cheaper. Yeah. Some other cool innovations that you'll see is the side panels are integrated carbon fiber. You have here to reinforce the cabinet to give it additional stiffness. One of the things that's
cool.
Yeah.
I got to pull that out. That's cool right there.
Yeah. One of the things that is particularly exciting for us is, you'll know this, Jay, because you've been around for a while. The O5s had this special terminal here, and I can unplug it to show you what it is. But it's a fifth terminal on the back of the speaker, and that's for the active noise cancellation or suppression technology that's built into the speakers. And only the O5 had it. With the new T series, the T1 has it, the T3 has it, and the T5 has it. So we can hook this special cable. It's got a BNC connector up to it, and it requires a special 14 volts DC that we're running from the power box over here, right along this cable.
So this cable right here.
Yeah.
And it goes
all the way to this guy.
Right here.
Yeah, and so what that is doing is that's driving, it's kind of a dithered, as Michael's explained to me, a 14-volt DC signal to the circuit boards within the crossover network to drive out even more noise in the system. So we're excited to see it because it was only on the 05 Silvers.
I remember that.
And of course the M series had it, so we're like, come on, give it, once the O gets replaced, we need it on all the speakers because it makes a huge difference in performance.
Now I want to make sure I clear something up, and there is a lot of confusion out there. I've gotten a lot of emails about this. A lot of you think that the O series, which was a great loudspeaker by any means, one of the best speakers I've heard, you think it's the same as the T, and it really isn't.
No.
Tell the audience that this is a completely new redesigned loudspeaker. They cannot get it confused.
Yeah, it is all new. I mean, everything about it is new. The drive units particularly, but also like one thing that we've really noticed, and this actually you hear, Jay, in the X and the C, and of course the M, I describe it as the speaker has incredible crispiness or speed,
right?
And that's a result of this new membrane. And so, you know, on the M series, it's the best version that Michael knows how to do with coatings on top of the membrane. This is a little bit scaled back version, but it's a new motor, it's a new motor basket, it's a new membrane, it's a new cabinet. I mean, there couldn't be anything really the same from the O series.
Which is why they took a long time to replace the O series, right?
Yeah.
That's the reason. It was in production for about, what, 8 years more or less?
Yeah,
7, 8?
so we launched it in 2017 at the Rocky Mountain Audio Fest.
About 8, 9 years.
Yeah, and you know, this happens a lot with customers, and we always remind them, it doesn't mean your O series sound any worse today.
No.
You know, that there's now a T series, your O series are still phenomenal and
speaker.
references all over the world. But T series is absolutely
a complete departure from what you guys had in the past. Any plans, Peter, to have
Peter,
anything else come in?
Watch you. We're joined
I
by
have to ask these questions in advance. Any plans to see maybe a T2 or T4 or anything like that? I know for now there's only 3.
Probably not.
Probably not, okay.
No.
Yeah.
But you'll come to Exponent, you'll see why. We worked on a lot of things.
Exponent's going to be quite special for you guys, right? You guys are going to have a tremendous amount of rooms. And so far, these are shipping. Are they ready to be shipped?
Yep.
There is no lead times.
No.
Okay, great to know. And if you can articulate to everyone, what do you get if, let's say, someone cannot afford the T5s? How much of the T5's performance is in the T3?
I hate putting percentages.
I know it's hard, but we got to do it.
Room dependent, right?
I know.
You know, some people will not be able to get the T5 because it could be cost prohibitive,
right,
or room prohibitive.
Yeah.
So you know, but they get close. They get really close for.
What is the price point? Is it $215 on the T5?
225.
$225, and these are 110.
Yeah.
So about 115 grand less.
Yeah. So double, you know. And so if the room can support it, of course, it's a better speaker. But this will fit in so many more rooms.
Yeah, and it's a lot friendlier in terms. I like the new style with the gloss black and the carbon fiber sides. To me, that's just more futuristic. I'm actually
if you go all the way down, you'll see that the whole bottom portion here that goes in is also carbon fiber.
Oh,
That's a great point.
That's actually good to know.
That is the stiffness, the bracing, all that is carbon reinforced.
And they remain light, which is very attractive. I mean, these things are not hard to move around. Like some of the speakers that you've seen on my channel, these are with one arm, you can move them yourself and get them set up properly.
Yeah, maybe you can.
But I want to make sure that you understand the importance of speaker placement. Okay, so when you buy this, you want to have an authorized dealer do the setup. Okay, I know a lot of you love to do your own thing out there. I get it. You buy it, you believe you know what to do when it comes to speaker placement. I thought I knew, and I'm telling you, I've been schooled quite a few times. The importance of having a reputable dealer that knows the product it's just as important as you paying for the product. Knowing that they're going to do the best they can to make it shine in your living space.
Yeah.
And I've seen these like really close to the walls. I've seen them in rooms that are not treated. I've seen them in all sorts of spaces, and they still have this crazy. I mean, I remember my wife who's filming right now. First time I had the O2s, I believe they were.
Yeah.
I played the O2s in my room, and she couldn't believe the sound that was coming out of them. The mid-range is just spooky. It's just ridiculous what you hear through that speaker. I've never heard a speaker that size sound so incredible, so resolving. And so I can only imagine the improvements that this thing is going to bring to the table, right?
Yeah, as Tyler said, it's everything. It's completely redesigned. the cabinet design, the drivers, and there's a lot of M series DNA that's trickled down into.
That's important that the audience understands that that technology is making its way down to the more affordable offerings. So,
and with ANSUS, you know, all the cables and accessories, we're on Gen 3. So, you know, with the O series, it was Generation 1 ANSUS. So all the noise suppression and cancellation technology is Generation 3, and that's all built into the crossover networks.
Oh, wow.
So, you know, you're upgrading the ANSUS level inside the speaker as well. All the internal wiring is ANSUS Gen 3, so it's a big upgrade. One thing, too, I forgot to show you is they actually come with darks underneath the speakers.
They do?
Yeah,
Really?
so Peter could tip the cabinet a little bit. We could show you.
Let's show that to the audience so they see.
They have these resonance control devices actually come with the speakers now, which is a nice upgrade.
That's upgrade.
The S2T, the Supreme.
And with the O series, you have to buy them, correct?
Exactly.
Yeah. So now they're included. This. Oh, by the way, so this is the Silver Supreme Edition. Is there another version of this?
There is a cryo version.
That's important. How much is that?
I
don't think we had our coffee yet. Josh can get you
I'm coming ready. I'm coming with the questions ready.
I can tell you the T1. I know the price on that. It's $38,500 for the cryo, and it's $55,000 for the silver. So.
Josh will look it up in the background for us while he gets to that price.
Well, the reason why I ask is because I know even at $110K, some of you may not be able to stretch that far. But for $75,
Josh?
$72,500, you can buy essentially the cousin of this one without all the treatments, right? But still get tremendous performance.
The 3 kilos of pure silver rings in your drivers. But
do you still get these footers with the 72,000? Okay, that's important, and they're going to be biampable too, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's another new feature.
It's important. Yeah, the biampability capabilities, for me, that's super important because it's something that I have noticed really brings the performance of any loudspeaker to a whole new level. And so I'm glad to see that the new generation of Borresen T series is incorporating that. To me, that's super, super desirable. And cool thing is, I know you guys have the matching electronics to make it as pain-free as possible too.
Think about it. This is the U288 all-in-one. It's a $30,000 unit that's driving these. Cables A3 level, so this
it's way down for us, yeah.
So you probably we were about 100 when we did the T1, so we're about 150,000 for the whole system.
For the whole system, the cables and all of that.
Yeah.
$150,000 buys you.
This show, that's pretty affordable.
Yeah.
It is actually, because you have speakers that are far more than that at the show. So if you're looking for a turnkey system that basically takes the guessing part of the equation and relieves from headaches, so you don't have to take Tylenols and all these things, this is one of the systems you need to really consider. Okay, because there's nothing like having a system that has been already designed by the manufacturer with the matching cables, matching electronics, and hopefully buy from Tyler so that he can come in, fly in with Josh, and do the best setup that you can possibly imagine in your living space. Anything else?
We'd love to help you. And you bring up a good point. Definitely, we will get the maximum performance out of your investment. There's no question. But we're also not like secretive about it, right? Like, so when we're working in a client's room, Josh and I are telling the client exactly what we're doing. So that's really helpful knowledge we're passing down, right? In case they change speakers down the road. We try not to be secretive or voodoo about it. I mean, we believe we know we have a craft and a real knack at it, but we also share it with our clients so that if they want to play after we've left, they can also play with their speakers. But each room's dependent, so we don't like just necessarily offer a formula. We can give you a good idea of how to work, but we really like to get in the room and do the setups.
The best way to do it. And also remember, his store, Next Level Hi-Fi, essentially has all speaker models from the Borresen line. So you get to see the size, you get to bring the wife hopefully, and then they'll make a recommendation on which size speaker is more appropriate for your room, okay? Because there is that variable that you need to take in consideration, the size of the room. They're not going to shove a massive speaker in a tiny room. They're not going to do you like that just to make money on you.
Absolutely. No.
I got to make sure you're clear. You guys need to be clear on that, okay? So check out his website, nextlevelhifi.com, okay? If you want to see more great stuff, great Borresen, great anything from the Audio Group Denmark, they have it on hand.
Definitely.
And they're ready to put on a performance for you. So any closing thoughts?
Thanks for joining us, and we'd love to play you some music.
Awesome. All right, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm here listening to the Borresen T3 Silver Supreme Edition loudspeakers. This is the world debut here in the United States, or the world, for this particular speaker. They MSRP for $110,000. Let me give you my thoughts. Right out of the gate, the soundstage is just ginormous. Really, really big, full, great impact. Mid-range are just, the mids are just dead center, locked in the middle, very clear.
Could it be right on?
Smooth, guys, very smooth speaker.
If the crow said
Mind you, we're using Class D amplification. Nothing about this setup sounds digital, nothing.
Could be right on. So the sound of the birds taking off scared you last night.
Love it.
Though they were right to
This could easily be, in my opinion, the sweet spot of the Borresen T-Series lineup. I could easily see this being their best seller. A lot of performance of the T5 is manifesting itself in the T3 right now.
To use their wings to fly.
Incredible stereo imaging. The separation is phenomenal. I really do not know how Borresen does it. You can put speakers of this size 20 feet apart from each other, and yet image so well in the mid-range, stays locked in the middle.
We'll be waiting for the morning. He'll crumble and strain. Again, if you rise, I rise, I run, I. Sound of the birds taking off scared you last night. Though they were right to leave, right
This is going to be a great selling speaker because the performance is that of a larger speaker, yet the speaker is not huge, and it's very nuanced.
Though they were right to leave, right to use their wings to fly.
If you can bi-amplify this speaker, it's only going to sound better. Only going to get better.
Can't figure out, is it too late?
If you're looking to spend 6 figures in a loudspeaker, you need to definitely pay close attention to the Borresen T3 loudspeaker. You really should.
Can't figure out, is it too late?
Thank you for that support, guys. Please subscribe, hit the like button. Let's continue.